Hey, morning guys, happy bank holiday and welcome to day one of week 10 of the Guildford City Fitness live stream. Fly warm up for Monday mornings to make sure that your warm up area is clear, got a drink ready to hand, and we're going to start as always with 2 1-minute rounds of fly skipping. So grab a quick drink and then we're going to go in 3, 2, 1, go.
Morning from Chris Finch, morning from Morgan, from Ollie, from Yaya.
Hope you are feeling fresh as always guys, 7 in the morning on a Monday.
Morning from Charlie, Matty, Ruben, Pearl.
Good number so far. Was it like a minute past?
Morning from Cam.
Cam will definitely be Instagram famous now for his trailer press.
Oh, was that Cam? Yeah, it's really cool.
Okay, just coming to the end of round 1.
Good morning from Julian.
Okay, how you doing, Julian? 10 off. Quick drink. 2, 1, go.
Lee is watching.
Morning, Lee. I keep thinking of getting a skipping rope, but I don't want one of those nasty ones from Morrison's.
Morning from Noah, Caroline,
Definitely a strong lineup today. Okay, 20 seconds left, guys. And relax. So dorsal press into sit back. And then angry cat, happy cat. To turn your thumbs up. So as you sit back, hands flat, sit back, palms up. So I'm making work for the camera lady.
sorry.
Okay, then angry cat, happy cat. Just try and focus on your lower back when you round up. Sit back a bit if you have to. So I always find I get more stretch there if I go back a little bit. Otherwise it just feels like scat press. Then into walkouts and downward dog. Stay low the whole time. Try and control your breaths, keep them even. Breathe in on the way back. Okay, then turn the last one into a downward dog. You can bend your knees a bit if you have to, as long as you get a lot of thoracic extension. So that's more important than having straight legs and not getting all the way through. Bend them. Big push. Then into prone arm recoveries. So facing the floor, head on a cushion. So do 2 narrow reps, 2 medium, 2 wide. wrists and elbows up off the floor. Two seconds up and 2 seconds down. And your shoulders are going to feel incredible. And then finish off with 4 club press ups. So balance out of each one or separate them, wherever you feel you need most to warm yourself up. Okay, so part 1 is whole body, upper body strength focus. So you'll need some books for the deficit push-ups, a table for the inverted row and dips, and then a bag for the pullovers. So go gather that now. Hopefully the deficit push-ups are starting to feel a bit easier. So you might want to think about changing the width of them as you go through. There's a couple of little tweaks this week to see if you're still adjusting to the 20-second rest between rounds. So we're going to get going with deficit push-ups in 3, 2, 1, go. Try not to worry too much about doing narrow grip with deficits because it will defeat the purpose, doesn't it? Because the books will block you, plus you're doing dips anyway. Relax. Then into dips. 2, 1, go. So controlling depth. Round 1 always feels like a warm-up. Start easy, probably build yourself up towards the end of round 3. Just keep your elbows pointed behind you, like you're twisting your hands on the table. 10 seconds left. And relax. Then into inverted row. 2, 1, go. Change your foot position. I need a higher table, really. Other options to put books under the table legs, but it wouldn't be the most stable thing to do, so I wouldn't advise it. And relax. And pullovers to finish the round. 2, 1, go. So pull your belly button towards your head the whole time, so you're having to consciously think about your core as you do it. If it's starting to feel too easy, try and do it single arm. Even number of reps each side. If you've got smaller loads, or smaller bags, so you try and do 2 single arms at once. And relax. 20 seconds off. Back into deficit push-ups. Okay, and then back in. 3, 2, 1, go. Push yourself up as high as you possibly can. Think about each push-up like you're finishing a scat press, so get your spine up really high. 15 seconds. And the wider you go, the more it's going to start feeling like a dumbbell fly for those that have done them. Okay, relax. Into dips. In 2, 1, go. So you always base the depth of a dip on how your shoulders feel and how straight you can keep your lower back. It feels okay. Spread your feet, but then cut the depth a bit. Okay, last 15 seconds. Just, obviously now my elbow looks like it's flaring out on the TV. Okay, and relax. Let's get a head on for you to check. Right, then into inverted row. In 2, 1, go. So Saturday's falling rows, you're concentrating on the drop. So today might be worth focusing on a slow controlled pull and an even fall. Trust me, if you haven't tried doing the pull bit slowly, I would definitely give it a try. It's a lot harder than a slow fall. Okay, and stop. Pullovers to finish. Two, 1, go. You could go with electors, so you could put a weight on your feet and extend. But then it makes it more of a core exercise, so wouldn't recommend it if you're thinking of ways to make it harder. Switch sides, just concentrate on the upper body. Keep your lower back pressed into the ground the whole time. Okay, and stop. So 1 more 20-second break. Back into deficit press up. Three, 2, 1, go. Same advice as with the inverted row. You spend Saturday's gym session thinking about slow falling parts, so today maybe try the slow upper part. Slow down, pause, and then a slow push back to the top. Just try to keep your elbows screwed behind you. Angle the books if you have to. And relax. Into dips. 2, 1, go. That shadow's really weirding me out.
What, on the TV?
Well, if you get your head on. Is my left elbow sticking out further than my right?
Yes.
Huh. How about now? Less?
Less.
Weird. Doesn't feel it, but that's why it's always worth checking, guys. So if you've got someone that can check, get them to. Because I don't know how long that's going on for. Okay, relax. Okay, then you're into inverted row. 2, 1, go. A slow pull. Pause at the top. And then a normal fall. So you're still pulling down on the table as hard as you can, but just keep your elbows tucked in, go as slow as you can, spend as much time on each rep as possible. Makes it a lot harder than if you do a quick pull from the floor. You've got momentum behind you, then relax, finish off round part 1 with pullovers. 2, 1, go. So you might find you have to go lighter if you're doing single arm. Makes it a lot harder, especially if you are putting both hands overhead anyway. Okay, then switch sides. So make sure you're still pulling with your lats, pulling your elbow up. And relax. It's a 1 minute break. Into part 2, movement skills. So you've got pike press up, rotation plank, jump to single, extend and divers. Which I thought had been a mistake when I reread it this morning. But pike push-ups is more of a, to me it's more developing overhead strength than horizontal strength. So you can do holds if you want, so you're trying to transfer your pressing strength into handstands again like we said before. Rotation planks, you know, everything else I can cover once we get to it. The pike push-ups, have your feet elevated behind you and try and concentrate on the vertical spine, get your hips stacked over your shoulders as best you can. I'm just going to get Debbie to check my back's not rounding. I'll do a couple of holds for round 1. So 3, 2, 1, go. So the feet up on a table. Make sure it's secure. It's back straight.
Mm-hmm.
So, from that starting position, try and get a hold. So you basically just try falling down instead of pressing. And you'll start to build more strength around your shoulders and your rotator cuff. 15 seconds left. If it's too challenging, try and go for a lower table. Oh, yeah, it's too high. Oh well. Relax. Into rotation plank. So 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, I do want that. So hands come off the floor before your hips do. Take one hand off the ground and then use it to push your hips around. So you're thinking about pulling and pushing with the muscles around your belly button. 10 seconds left. And relax. Okay, jump the single leg land. So I'm going to do single leg hops today. 3, 2, 1, go. Swap halfway. If you want, you can alternate between, so one on each leg. Make sure you absorb each landing properly. The skill sim is anything else, you might need a few to get you warmed up before you can properly push. Okay, and relax. Then divers to finish off. 3, 2, 1, go. So start by building it up with a single leg RDL, see how you feel today. Then throw in the reach. And switch legs. And relax. 20 seconds rest. I'm gonna try and go feet on the sofa this time for the press up holds. That table's a bit too high. So 3, 2, 1, go. Or bucks. So feet are elevated. Probably feels a bit more like a decline press up, but that's still an in-between point because it's harder than a normal push up and you're getting more overhead. So just try and hinge at your hips. So a normal deficit decline press up, just have your feet elevated. Here you're going to shove your hips towards the ceiling, straight back, hips towards your hands, relax. Into rotation plank. In 3, 2, 1, go. Even amount of time on each side. I think it's important to make sure that you're leading with the muscles on the front of your body rather than just swinging your hips side to side. And relax. So single leg hops. So try and build the height that you get on each foot. 3, 2, 1, go. If you want to build the height, swing your other leg as long as you can absorb it. So if you start to fall over, get rid of that and go with a static. So bend your leg, can't move down on one leg. Keep the other one pinned out in front of you so you get less up from it. Some of you might find, relax, you can't manage if you're pinned in front because it's a different jump strategy, but Try them all, see which one feels more comfortable. Divers in 2, 1, go. So jumps might feel a bit easier. Sorry, divers might feel a bit easier after jumps, because your body's woken up to having to stabilise, switch legs. And you might find you have to bend your knee a bit more than usual. Relax. So 20 seconds off, and then one more round. Yeah, bigger book for the deficits.
Yeah, can you take the dust cover off?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. So as it's a movement skill, you might just find you need to work on the height of the deficit that you're going to go with this. Then we can shut it back.
Yeah. That's better, yeah.
Really big challenge if you haven't done them before. But the main thing is just trying to get your shoulders pushing up between elbows down towards the floor and clenching your hands into the carpet. Relax. Ever so slightly harder, but like I said, more shoulder focus. So if you haven't got a trailer like Cam does, it's a good one to start working on. Rotation plank in 2, 1, go. So even number of reps on each side. Cross your feet wider if you have to. And just pull. So put your hand on your hips and press it as you rotate. Relax. Okay, jumps into single leg landing. 2, 1, go. So if you haven't yet, try a double leg takeoff into a single leg land. The big caveat is that the jump's going to be higher, so the landing's harder. So you have to learn how to land and absorb it carefully. Don't just land with a straight leg. That's the best way to knacker your knees. A few more seconds. And relax. So as long as your knee doesn't cave into the middle on your landing, it's fine. Just build it up gradually. Finish with divers in 3, 2, 1, go. I'm having a good day because my shoulders aren't complaining when I go overhead. If they do click and complain, nothing to worry about. Switch sides. Just make sure as you reach out, you've still got a straight line from your head to your heel. So if that does feel hard, go arms out to the side, sit with arabesque, and then relax. So cool down time. Start with foam rolling. So quad stretch in 2, 1, and let's go. So last week, that's probably the least amount of messages I've had in terms of niggles. So I'm going to take that as a good sign. Again, if you feel you need some advice or you have some different ideas, let me know. So at least then we can just keep on, be aware of what everyone's trying to achieve. And relax. At least then if something does happen to go wrong and you have to change the session slightly, we'll know why. Otherwise you get a few weeks behind and it's harder to pull back. Don't forget to neglect the sides. It's probably the bit that I hate the most of quad rolling. By a long shot. Relax. Even with a lot of support, that bit sucks. But you've got to do it. Hamstrings. So I always start with this. That's pretty miraculous that I'm straight leg already. That one not so much. But by now you should be comfortable with the idea of testing, so you know whether the stretching had an impact. If it doesn't, it's worth messaging a coach. Ultimately, I'm going to show you a couple of different options, and I'm going to do what works for me so you can see the impact. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it will be as effective for you. Relax. So remember, you're pushing your heel away. Try and relax as much of your body weight onto your back arm as you can, so that your lower body just switches off a little bit. It'll sink a bit more. Feels a lot better. Okay, into hip. So using your other arm is going to be quite handy. If you go forearm as well, less body weight supported. Both feet off the ground, and to be fair, if I just stay here, I'm starting to relax onto it. Hard feeling to explain, but if you find a sticky point, you don't have to try and floss it all the time. Sometimes resting on it will be enough. And then switch sides. Hopefully all the time you spend upside down in a week now will make things like this feel a bit more comfortable or less awkward. Actually, before I switch on to lats, I'm going to show you lower back as well. So if you have got a roller, relax. Lower back rolling, I think I've shown some of you. But it takes a lot of trust, control and breathing. So, just lean back and take your time with it. So the shoulders on the ground. And then start to bring your knee towards your chest. The same thing applies with tennis balls. So the more you bring your knee up to your chest, the more you're going to stretch your lower back across the roller. So the more you can tip yourself like that, the more of an effect it's going to have. I'm not sure I'm ready for this side. If you find it's too much, just sit back a bit, both hands on the roller, and just jiggle it backwards and forwards until you feel ready. So it's like you're trying to just rest and let the roller shave your lower back. Shape. Let it shape it so that it just kind of relaxes over it as it feels ready to. Into lats. That one's quite easy if you've got time to kill. Like if you're just on your phone, distract yourself and just kind of slowly sink backwards. Okay, lats always lead with the shoulder because it's going to dictate. That's probably the end that you're tightest at. Especially if you've just done some strength training. So the more shapes the more movement you can create at that joint with a bit of a constraint in terms of the foam roller, the more it's going to help your recovery. The classic arm overhead. So I'm having a weird day, none of this seems to be having an impact. Or at least it doesn't hurt anymore. But it doesn't mean that it won't later on. So if you don't find that any position in particular is helping you, just do the ones that you normally do. See if it changes how you feel later on. If you skip it because you think you don't need the recovery, it might bite you later on in the week. Okay, and then chest to finish off. So instead of IYTW, I'm going with a sort of semi-thread the needle, legs on the floor, arm out to the side, and then just twisting. So I'm trying to twist the G on my top away from the foam roller. Or I can just relax. And try and take, if you lift that arm off the floor, so if I switch sides, so I'm here, I'm twisting my body away from the roller, and then try and lift that arm off the ground. It's going to feel interesting. So jiggle the roller with your other hand, because if you start using the same hand, it's going to tense up a little bit. Okay, that'll do. So challenge-wise, focus on some skills, learn something you haven't tried before. I'm going to advocate the yoga thing again, because I think the more you can link movements together, the more effective you're going to find on the skill acquisition parts anyway. Just from finding shapes that you're not used to. Like, the more creative you can be, the more effective you'll find it. Like, some of you have made massive strides with your handstands, etc. To the point where we've built more of that foundation work into this program. So you're either going to maintain it or improve a little bit. So go and try and find some other really cool shapes you can make. That's my challenge to you. And then tonight you've got a chat with Ellen at 6 on Facebook Live. Make sure you check it out, and if you don't get the chance, watch it on the club YouTube after the fact. Or go back and watch some of the other ones as well, because I guarantee it's been 10 weeks, you won't have remembered all of it. And there's definitely going to be some things you will find useful to take back into training when we do eventually get there. So that's going to be it from me today. Thank you all for joining in. Enjoy your bank holiday. Make the most of the weather, as long as you're safe about it. And I'll see you tomorrow. And everyone at Guildford City wants to wish you all a very good day. See you later.